So right now we're in a bear market, but also right now is just to be one of the best opportunities to get into NFTs. Sol is cheap, NFTs are cheap, and it's are cheap as well. So we have 4 NFTs that look sick and are upcoming very soon. And we also have to talk about Dust and Forge because those 2 tokens are making tremendous ecosystems in the Solana NFT space. There's something brewing with these 2 tokens. By the way, this isn't financial advice, only entertainment and educational content. Let's get at it. So the first mint is called CopeTown. CopeTown is basically a project that don't like to call themselves a brand, no meta, not art, the first salami culture. They are basically going to use these memes of goblins everywhere on every known art meme. Their mint date is TBD and their supply is at 10,000 and the price is TBD. The Discord is basically at 10,000. It does say it's 1,500, but it's a little error. Twitter is around 16,500. The team will be doxed privately, and the utility is their brand meme. So basically, even though they don't call themselves a brand, in a nutshell, it's basically a brand, but it's tactic, guys. It's all tactical marketing. And the vibe is a 9 out of 10. They're definitely vibing on Twitter with their culture. And I mean, Zach is also known for being the man for managing the community, and that dude is well known in the Twitter space and knows how to work Discord. He has a huge reputation, worked on Wobblebug and the Soul Academy, and did very well there. So as far as the art, looking at this, it's an 8.3 out of 10 so far. I did look at their memes with the goblin faces, and it's not bad. So let's wait on how the PFP actually looks like. I mean, look at this guy. He kind of just, looks a little bit goofy, but their main thing is being a meme brand, even though again they don't like to call themselves brand. But this is funny because this is the one of the most famous memes out there, and they use it quite well. So we're gonna see how it works. And the only thing is that memes can only go so far as NFT projects because there's so much competition going out there. So this could potentially just be one of those ones being first in Solana to do this, but eventually the market could dictate somewhere else into another project, because once you start having more supply in NFTs, it starts changing the level of the game, and especially in Solana if it's already there. So this project cannot be going to Ethereum because it's gonna get crushed. Pros and cons: overall, they have a great group of folks. They give personal ownership of your goblin in case that this does scale. Culture is new. Haven't seen this in Solana yet, so it'll be interesting to see. I like it, and let me know what you think. Also, link to my Discord below. You see the projects there are before I hit them on YouTube. We have a mint calendar and upcoming project section, a community chat where we all talk about this NFT and alpha, and you can see different things right here and different channels, and I upload them every time I get a chance to, before again they go into YouTube. Also check out my Patreon for exclusive trades and giveaways, and our own private channel on Discord where you have better access to me. Okay, so the next project is called Netrunners, and man oh man, this one I'm looking forward to. Let me just say, taxes. No, don't run away. This isn't the IRS. This is a tax reporting app that is integrating this into their site with many more other types of utilities. So mint date is scheduled for July 8. Supply is at 4,646, which I think because at this moment there isn't enough liquidity for 8,000 supply or 10,000 supply during this market time frame. So a price like this and a supply like this could potentially work out. Price is still TBD. Discord is at 3,750. Twitter is at 2,666. The team is basically experienced. They have 10 years in business, and the main mate is called Meathead, who was also an analyst. And the utility is basically a site built for NFT collectors, investors, and traders that help organize tax reporting. And they're going to be giving out more different types of utilities within this site, especially for staked NFTs. Like I have a The God, Honey DeFi, Ghost Kid DAO, Blocksmith Lab, etc. all staking, and man, it's going to be a hassle for taxes, but this will essentially solve this type of hassle. Now, there's also additional analytic tools like seeing actual gains loss based on Sol price plus Sol USD exchange rate. So as you can see, they see issues and they solve the problems. And if they pull this off, this could be big. I would say that the vibe is not much on Twitter, but usually with utility, they're not big hype mints. So just the way the world works, hype is more likely not going to be there like an OK Bears, but this is a builder project. So just be aware of that. Builders tend to be built with valuation with NFTs, and they tend to go like this slowly if they keep building and building. And I mean, you got brand NFTs that go up and then down, up and down. So it's a different type of game we're playing here. The art is a banger, 9 out of 10. I like the look of it, the person and AI background. It's really cool, and basically it's just a little bit different. I don't know if people are going to be using this for a PFP, but usually with utility type of projects, the art doesn't really matter. People don't really use them as their PFP. They just know they have the utility, whether it's revenue sharing or airdrops. So in summary, it looks very promising. Tax app on Solana with other types of utilities all coming together. It looks really cool, and it will be a blessing to us all if they pull this off. I hope they pull it off with all the other analytic tools as well. And on to the next project. So the next project on the list is the good old Rad Cats. You probably never heard of this, and that's because they literally just opened up their project to the public. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, it's because they are MonkeyDAO members and they actually have good reputation. So the mint date is basically TBD. Supply is at 9,000. Price is TBD. Discord is TBD. But Twitter is already at 5,900 followers. The team is basically 2 members, which is from again MonkeyDAO, who are Mr. X, and the advisor is ZGap, both actually on Twitter. Their utility is basically retro branding from the 90s, and there's more to come eventually. And this is basically just a snippet of what we got so far, because they literally just opened up this week. So we don't got much, but I gotta share it because you never know. If you get on the Discord, you might get a whitelist. It might become a great project, and then boom, bada bing, you got something that you could either flip or whatever or hold. The art is basically TBD, and basically we just have a hand, which isn't much, but let's see what they come up with. And overall summary is that it's a cross-chain branding, 90s look. More will come out, so again, just wait off. Every Solana person knows about this project and wants in. The project is basically called Duppies, and it's minting in June, and no exact date yet, but the supply is at 13,333. The reason why is because the owner, Frank the Gods, wants to basically give whitelist spots to the first 8,000, 9,000 the God holders, but also want to add fresh meat. So there's about maybe 5,000 chances to join the club for people who want to be a part of this family. And this is like a mace mint if you want to be part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club family. It's a similar analogy, but the huge difference is that this is its own brand collection. And basically you can imagine Amazon buying Twitch, which they did, and Amazon buying Whole Foods, which they did. Basically the main company is Amazon, the holding company, but they have 2 subsidiaries that have complete different businesses. And basically that is what Frank is aiming at. Although price is at 375 dust, which is like 15 to 20 Sol mint depending on the day, is overly technically a free mint for the God holders because they are staking this and basically receiving this dust, which is about 15 dust a day. And Discord is at 76,000, Twitter is at 41,000, and the team is Frank and the Gods artist manager. A lot of them, probably over about 20, who have built the best NFT project thus far on Solana. So the utility right now is that you can get to be a part of Frank's business holdings, but keep note that there could be minimal relation to the God's completely separate brand. Now, some on Twitter Spaces have hinted supposedly the collection could have bright colors from the Spaces with Frank. He did mention a little bit of that. So it was in a space with doodles. So I'm imagining a doodles type of art because Frank did have a conversation with the team. So just a theory on how the art might just look like. I don't know. Okay, so let's just talk about the token now. These SPL tokens are basically changing the Solana game. And finally, they're basically coming out with worth-worthy economical incentives. So in Ethereum tokens like Swap made a name for itself. Solana doesn't really have this because let's be honest, all Solana SPL tokens are pretty much crap coins. But there is hope, and the first token is called Dust. So Dust is basically connected to the gods community. Dust is basically their economical currency, and it's going to power up, you guessed it, Duppies. And Duppies is basically going to be their second brand collection. And this is where Frank is working on building on the currency ecosystem with his team. So Dust is super low right now. One can buy it at basically 0.90 at what it is right now, and maybe make a 3x, 4x if this works out with the Duppies. The reason why is because Duppies is coming out in 15 days or less, and we have a known variable that could be bringing the price Dust up temporarily. So my game plan is to buy Dust, sell it right before mint, and obviously things could change if the Fed increase rates these next 15 days or a war increases in chaos, and we just don't know. But this is my specific task considering all the risks. Dust will be the currency of Duppies and the gods, whether it's merge, sales, or maybe some unknown utility software that we don't know of yet. But we also have Forge, which is the other token that is building its own economical system. So if you haven't heard of Blocksmith Libs, they have the best whitelist meta utility out there called Mercury. Better than Ethereum because there is really none out there for a blockchain. So ETH guys are usually fond of this utility. So the way it works is you basically stake Forge token. And Forge token then is being utilized on Mercury by basically someone buying a raffle ticket for a whitelist spot for a project. And the project wants to get listed with Mercury, and that's how Mercury gets its whitelist spots, because it's got such a great utility software that all these great projects are coming to them. So you essentially receive the best projects out there. Now Forge token could be huge because Blocksmith announced Bifrost, which is essentially a launchpad. Now yes, I get it. There are thousands of launch pads out there, and this one is different. I get it. But I'm talking about Forge token. That's basically the main concept right now. The launch pad is essentially going to be free for projects. Yes, free. So Magic Engine is probably on their tippy toes with this. And the thing is that they will use a small portion of Forge token for minting for Blocksmith Lab holders. And then most likely sold for the project's whitelist members. Now the amount of Forge token for this is going to be nuts. So it's going to be a while, but I did buy a Blocksmith Lab at 77. Super excited for this one. It hit it right here at the bottom during this crash, and I would really like to buy more Blocksmith Lab NFTs because I really do believe in this project, and I believe that a lot of NFT projects will want to come into the Blocksmith Lab ecosystem because it's building out this whole nice user, easy to use interface from minting with whitelists and Discord easy usability. So it's really cool. Now in conclusion, these projects look cool as hell, and let me know what you think of them on the comments below and what you think of Forge and Dust. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, and much love and peace.